problem with my Corolla, and I think I know what it is after looking at a few videos. But I'm gonna scan it and show you what codes I have, and then I'm gonna show you what's happening, because it's weird, but I never thought this would have happened. But hopefully this will kind of give you a little bit more information on the car. Luckily the car is running perfectly fine, but inside I had a bunch of water inside my car and I had no idea what was happening. And then I got a bunch of check engine lights as well. So I'm gonna run the codes, show you guys what I'm getting, and then show you what the problem should be. Alright, so you can see the car is running. I got check engine light and my stability control and everything is on, as well as flashing. So I'm gonna scan the codes and I'm gonna show you what I'm getting. But it's weird because what was happening, like the last few days, I noticed there was like a little bit of water in on each side, the passenger and the driver's side, and I was like, I'd never thought anything about it, but I was like, oh, just some water leaked in or something like that, and I didn't even think about it because it wasn't a lot of water that was on the mats. But now, once I got this check engine light and I read the codes, I realized what was happening. When I got the codes, I read them. And this takes a little bit to load, but I'll pretty much tell you. So, like, I read the codes and I was like, I got a oxygen sensor code as well as a body module code, and I had no idea what was going on. So when I googled those codes, both of those codes together, I realized what it is the condensation drain is clogged on this car, causing it to back up and then get all of the electronics wet. So when I scan for the codes, I have like a bunch of codes, because once you get one check engine light, it just throws on a bunch of other codes. So I'm pretty sure it's the condensation line. I need to try to pull it from underneath the passenger side and clean it out and try to unclog it, as well as try to dry up my car, because my car now stinks like water. So because all my carpets on the outside here, underneath here, were all wet, and I just thought it was my floor mats, but it was really more than just that. So that's where I'm at with this car. Hopefully I can solve it by just clearing the check engine lights, unclogging my thing, and then we'll be good to go. Hopefully it didn't ruin any electronics. But yeah, let's start by taking this code out. So yeah, you can see I have 2 check engine lights, cruise control, ABS, tire pressure, SRS airbag. I literally have like 10 check engine lights because of this. So but when you read the check engine lights, it is the O2 sensor as well as a body control module malfunction or something like that, which is, I'm pretty sure it's just water getting onto some of the electronics. So I'm going to turn the car off. We'll try to figure out where this condensation line is and clean it out. So you can kind of see the water residue that was on my mats, but underneath the floor is quite damp. I mean, it's hard to show, but it's pretty damp here. So if we come to the driver's side, pull this cover off, and this is how I figured it out. Was there was water dripping from this right here, and it was dripping right onto these electrical connections, which this electrical connection right here is strictly for your oxygen sensor. So that would explain what's happening. So if you see water or moisture coming from here, dripping on here, this is most likely your problem. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there's water dripping from this pad right here. And the condensation line should be this right here. So we're gonna disconnect this and get ready to catch some water, because there's probably a lot of trapped water in this reservoir. And then we will try to blow this out with some compressed air or something. And then we gotta try to dry up my whole carpet. Okay, so I don't know why mine is completely empty, which I was not expecting. I don't know if the clog is, as you can see, there's some water coming through here. I just don't know where it's all at, because it's wet back here. Okay, so mine was actually clogged up inside of there. I don't know if you can see all the water coming out now. So I took this hose off here. So there's a bunch of water right here that came out. I'm gonna try to stick something in there farther and see if I can get more. Because I was expecting the hose to be clogged, not the actual container. So I don't know if that fixed my problem. Hopefully it did. I might try to put some compressed air down here to make sure the outside drain is clean too. Alright, so I got everything all hooked back up. And I blew air into here as well as back into the system to see if any other clogs came out. But I think that was pretty much all the water that was in there. All the rest of it leaked out into my car, unfortunately. So, but make sure you connect everything really good. And all it took was just pretty much a coat hanger. And I just shoved it up into the hose and unclogged it. So, let me try to clean everything back up. And then we'll try to clear the check engine lights. Alright, so I just extracted my carpets to try to get as much water as possible. Not a lot came out, I mean, and you can see it's pretty dirty, but try to get as much water as I could out of there. As well as I forgot to show you guys the exact codes I was getting. These are the codes I was getting. I was getting a P0138, which was a oxygen sensor high voltage, as well as a P0607, which was a control module performance. So when you see these two codes together, it's most likely going to be the condenser is leaking water onto these modules. So those are the two codes. If this ever does happen to you, see those two codes and you most likely have water dripping onto those sensors. So now that we got that done, we got it cleaned up as good as possible. Let's try to clear those codes and make sure everything is good. I'm gonna turn on the AC too, make sure I don't see any water dripping or whatever. But got the scan code connected. Let's scan all the codes for the Corolla again, and then we'll clear them, and then just take this car for a quick test drive to make sure they stay off. And I also blew off the connectors down below, like where I unplugged the oxygen sensor, and I just kind of blew out the connectors to make sure there's no moisture in there, just so that way it doesn't like short circuit again, because I'm pretty sure that's what happens. It short circuited and then caused the check engine light to pop up. But we'll hopefully clear out all these codes and we'll be good to go. And the reason too why I try to extract my carpets is because it actually was starting to smell a little musty in here. So I wanted to try to get rid of that moisture as much as possible. I mean, I don't know how long this is happening prior to it dripping on that, but I haven't noticed. I mean, because when you have floor mats, you don't notice the carpet is ever wet, so it's not something that you pay attention to. So I didn't ever notice it until I started seeing water on the actual mat itself. But let's erase. So looks like it's able to clear out all these codes so far. Okay, so I have a tire pressure, that's been on. Hopefully I'll get that fixed pretty soon. I think that's just, they're not connected to the actual wheels yet. But now that I know I have good TPMS sensors, I can get that connected. I just need like a scan tool or something like that to connect them. I actually have to go get an alignment pretty soon now because my steering wheel is not straight. I've been meaning to get an alignment for a while, but I haven't had a chance yet because I've just been so busy. But I have one for today. I'm gonna drop it off, get it aligned. Hopefully everything aligns good with how low I am. Alright, so I just picked the car up from an alignment, and they were able to do, this is what it was before. You can definitely tell my left front wheel needed some adjustment. The right one, not so much, and then the rear one, they weren't able to do much to it because there's no adjustment on that. So this is what it looks like afterwards. I don't know why they didn't adjust the camber on the front wheels, because I do have adjustable camber plates on these coilovers, but I guess they didn't bother with it. Everything is a lot better than what it was, so hopefully these tires don't get worn out. And then I also had them fix I had a tire pressure light on here. They charged me $30 for that, so, which is kind of expensive, because I went to Discount Tire one time and they did it for free, but these people charged $30 for it, but not a terrible thing. Alright, so I just went on a little test drive. No check engine lights came on. And I looked under the car and you can actually see water dripping down. I never really paid attention to it until now, but I know there's water dripping down now, so it shouldn't be dripping into the cabin anymore. But got the carpets as clean as I can. I'm gonna kind of keep my windows cracked and my sunroof open just to try to help air it out even more, so it doesn't smell musty. Put an air freshener in here just because it did smell pretty bad. So, but yeah, that's how you clear the, if you happen to have those two check engine lights at once, it's most likely going to be your condensation line, which is, I mean, super simple to do. I mean, as long as you have something to, you don't even need compressed air. I mean, just something to poke in there and clear it out. You can literally do that right at your house. So that is as simple as that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.